So if I've got 30 degrees, I want 45 degrees, don't I? Air on, air off under here. My ambient's going to be the same, and I want a 10-degree split, don't I? If I was to say I've got 4 degrees air off, what am I evaporating at? What's my evaporating temperature? 4 degrees off.
-4, -10. I mean, it's 10.
10 backwards, so that'd be -6, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? If I was to say to you, right, you've got 4 degrees air off of that evaporator, what you're evaporating? -6. I'll go backwards 10, okay? We're not going to do that. You're going to be asked to do a pump down again, right, which we'll show you on another one. I just want to get this sort of thing out of the way. So I've got everything trapped in there now. What we're going to do, we're going to go straight in to a recovery now. We're going to do a recovery. So, I need my recovery machine. Cable on it. Thank you, just plug it in there. Right, now the way to set this up, guys, I've got my common line. Everything's back in the safety. Oh, Jesus, no good with this. Be careful you don't take off that end. You want to take off this end closest to the filter. Yeah? So I'm going to disconnect that. I'm going to put that to one side. Put that down there. This line will connect straight onto my filter. You may not, on the units you come across, you may not have a filter. You should really have filters on all this sort of stuff, because you're going from job to job and you want to look after your tooling. Okay, so I've connected onto there. This line is going to connect onto what side of my bottle? Yeah, it's going to my liquid side here. So I'll connect onto my liquid side. Right, at this point I'm taking refrigerant from there to there. At all points, safety goggles, safety gloves, right? I'm going to check there. Now on this recovery machine, this low side here equates to my machinery. This high side is for my bottle. Okay, so low side machine, high side bottle. Don't overcomplicate this, because all machines are different. Just think of that as a U-tube going straight across. So I want you to pick up the way I do this, really. So when I'm recovering from that machine, what I'm going to do, I'm simply coming from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm up to that valve, yeah? I've got refrigerant to there. I'm going to open that, finger trace it round. I've now got a pressure. I'm going to send it now down my common. So I'm going to open that liquid now. If I finger trace that down, I come onto this filter. I've got a safety here. I'm going to open up that safety. All right? Now, when I come along here, I'm going to leave this valve closed. I'm going to go right across onto this one, and I'm going to open that. I'm going to finger trace along on here. Now I'm up to this point. Out on site, I would purge again. And all that is opening this bit and just giving it a little tiny purge. All right, just make sure you see that bit of mist. Not a lot. Just a tiny bit of mist is good, and you lock it off again. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to zero off my scales. Could someone just press the tear on that and turn the lamp on? My eyes are terrible. Turn that yellow light, press it, spot on. Now all I'm going to do, I'm going to bring that refrigerant in, right? So I'm going to open up my bottle. I'm going to turn on my machine, okay, and that's pulled down there, it's pulled that down, what was there, the bit of stuff that was in it, right? Here, it's very important, you can blow the valves on these machines. All machines are different, these ones the valves can go. So what I'm going to do, just going to take it up slowly. See, I've hit that biting point, and I'm just going to let that pull down, and you'll just see my scales going up now. Recovering that refrigerant out there, aren't I, on them scales? The scales are going up. Yep. And you'll see this gauge going down as I'm pulling out my liquid. And as that goes down, my liquid gauge here, you'll see that dropping down as well, because I'm sucking all that liquid out of there, recovering into my bottle. And my low side is slowly dropping. As my low side begins to drop and drop and drop, well, it tends to, the sucking process, if you like, is not as good. So what I would do, just throttle it up a little bit more to let that pull down, which just pulls the liquid out quicker. See, now I'm pulling down on my high side. Now what I can do, I can literally turn that to a vapor. I can take this dial on there up to onto vapor, and I'm now just going to open up my low side as well. Open that, and I'm now literally just going to suck the living daylights out of that machine. Now what I can do, what you can do, force of habit, I think I've got one over there, let's have a look. Force of habit, what I've always done, I'm not saying you should do it, I'll just never take the solenoid off when it's charging. See there on this magnet, this is a magnet, right? I'll put it that way, it's no good. If I turn that over, hear that click? That's pulled that up now. I'm guaranteed sucking out of everywhere from that machine. But you don't have to do that, it's just one of those things, you know. You'll see this filter dryer start icing up. Why would that be icing up, do you think? Why do you think that would be icing up?
It's opened up the other side, so it's letting it go through.
What do we trap in a filter dryer?
Moisture.
Moisture, don't we? If that's trapped moisture in there, and I'm at really low pressure, what's my temperature going to be? My temperature's going to be really low, isn't it? My outside ambient air temperature is going to be a lot more, isn't it? So as it's touching that, you can see that forming up. It's because it's got moisture in there. You can sort of tell if something's blocked that way, really. Or I could stick a clamp either side of there, and I'd want the same sort of differential between the two probes. I'd want the same differential there. Zero there, on there. And what I'll do now, a lot of people at this point think it's empty. I'm going to watch my scales. I've got 665, 675, so we're still pulling out a bit of refrigerant. And whenever you think it's empty, it's honestly not. Wait till it flickers back, or you've waited for a long time. Both the gauges are down, everything's open. So we'll just see if that flickers across from 770. I don't think there'd be much more. Yeah, I see that flicker back to 765. That's telling me I'm sort of there, I'm good. Now this is an important part, right? Well, sort of important, isn't it? What I want to do now is purge my hose lines, because once again I don't want to take them off, could lose refrigerant. So what I'm going to do is simply backseat this valve. Okay, lock that off. I'm going to backseat this one, lock that off. I'm not bothering about closing that or that, I've just locked that one off and that one off. Now I'm going to go down to my machine here with my dodgy back. On this first gauge, okay, I'm going to go to closed. 90-degree angle goes to closed. On this second one, I'm going to spin that right round to the bottom onto purge. So I want to purge these hose lines. Now back on this first dial, just going to throttle it again and you'll see my scales going up. You just see them scales going up there. And all I'm doing, just pulling the rest of the refrigerant out of them hose lines. Till I get all the way down to purge. Okay? Gone down to 0. At this point, I'm going to lock my bottle off. Close my bottle off. Right, that's tight. 90 degrees on that valve. Finger trace. I'm going to go close. I'm going to jump across to here. Go close. Out of politeness, I'm going to turn that back to recover. I'm going to switch my unit off. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to switch off. I'm going to finger trace up. I'm going to turn both these valves off. Turn that one off up here. Turn that one off. And then if I disconnect those, sorry, excuse me, let me disconnect this one. If I disconnect this at this point, I open that up and I open that up. Nothing. I'm not going to damage myself. So remember, it's about protecting the environment mainly. If it's a choice between me and a penguin, I don't want to burn myself, do I? So really it's about me. And that's the process you've got to go through, guys, okay? Happy with that?